Good morning, YouTube. Video documenting my whole life. You might be thinking, why do I want to know anything about this stupid asshole? I think my life has there's some valuable knowledge in here that you might be able to use for something. Because when you think about it, if my life went undocumented, it would sort of be wasted. So, because my life experiences have been pretty grim. Let's go and take a look at my life. All started out, was born too early. I swallowed the drink in my mother's stomach. I swallowed the stomach fluid, the whatever she had inside, and I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my face. But I survived. I was in a box for some time until I grew back into a normal baby because I came out a bit too soon. Started finger painting. Had my first psychosis when I was 2. When someone from daycare force-fed me cheese. And ever since, I've had problems with cheese. I've had problems. I can eat cheese on pizza. I can eat pizza with cheese on it. And lasagna and stuff. But that's where I draw the line. Are you thinking, that was an unfortunate way to start life? It gets worse. My parents were basically not very good at being parents. And I got complex PTSD, or what could look like autism, because they were fighting a lot. It was a very unsafe home. So there's already that. Already born too early, complex PTSD, psychosis. I get a brother, and I really do love my brother, and I looked forward to getting him. When I was 7 years old, I got my younger brother. I had nightmares. I had huge nightmares when I was growing up because our foundation was unstable. I had so many nightmares. You cannot believe it. I dreamt of the most stupid shit, but I had a terrible time sleeping. Well, what do you know? I skate through school and I ace everything because, not to brag or anything, but I think I have a pretty high IQ. And that made me sort of able to skate through school like this. No fucking problems. Never had homework. Finished all my shit in school. But then I turned 11 and everything changed. Because all of a sudden, we were expected to do the stuff at home. And I had too much either ADHD or autism to even open up my school bag whenever I got home. I would just play Nintendo. I'm 11 now. This is where the real bad shit started. I turn 11, I skip school one day, and I say, what if I took one of my mother's cigarettes and watched a CD-ROM of Playboy on the family PC? That's what I did. So I skipped school, I started smoking. Now I started smoking with other people, now that I found out that I enjoy smoking. I start wearing drug paraphernalia. I wear clothing with people who smoke weed. I started watching South Park. And basically, it's just a matter of time now before I start smoking cigarettes on the steady. And I start smoking weed on the regular. Now, smoking weed for me was always very therapeutic. I enjoyed the buzz, the calming down, I could do stuff like drink a glass of water and say, whoa, that was a nice glass of water. I can't believe water is so nice. Like I would enjoy the small things in life. So I basically loved smoking weed. And I smoked weed every time I got the chance. But the problem is, now my whole school is fucked. I'm not paying attention to school. The teachers think I'm a dumbass. They know I'm not paying attention. They're not using any energy on me. And I'm basically one of the shitheads now that skips school, hangs out in the parking lot and smokes a cigarette. I start listening to Slipknot, drinking a lot. Now I'm 16 and I have a whole heap of problems. I have so many anxiety problems from smoking weed that I basically think I'm dying when I'm just on the school bus. I think my bladder exposed and I'm sitting there in the back, like thinking I'm dying. And I go to the doctor, say, I believe I'm dying, doctor. I don't know what's wrong with me. He says, you have anxiety. We're going to give you Xanax and benzos. So this is now the part of my life where I start getting into benzos and Xanax. So I'm now smoking weed, I'm drinking alcohol, taking benzos, Xanax. And what happens next? I get a psychologist. There's a psychologist that's put on me to try and relieve my anxiety, but it doesn't fucking work. Let's just face it. He probably did some stuff to unravel the trauma of my upbringing and tried to fix some of that, but he did not fix my anxiety at all. I get put in child pediatric psychiatric care, and I get put in a home with other kids who have psychiatric problems, mostly eating disorders. And they try and treat me, but I am a massive drug addict at the same time. So the whole treatment they got planned for me is not working because I'm basically self-sabotaging with drugs. And I'm at this point I'm doing all the drugs I can. I'm smoking any potted plant in your house, I probably tried smoking it. I did every fucking drug I could find. I then get bounced between homes. I get put in a home for people who are on their way out to their own place, but they not quite mature enough to go there yet. So they go to like a halfway house. I go there. I get thrown out for being a drug addict. I get put in another home. I'm there for a bit. I get thrown out for being a drug addict there. I go to grown up psychiatric care now. And this is where I start being on a ton of fucking drugs. I'm on so many drugs. It's basically a miracle that I am still standing. And I got a pill called Seroquel Qutipine. I was on 2100 milligrams. The recommended max dosage is 600 milligrams, but you can up it to 800. I was on 2100 milligrams of this drug only. I was on another drug too, where I got 450 milligrams. I was on benzos. I was on basically, I was on so many fucking drugs. I don't even know how I stood up. But still, one day I, I lay in bed. I'm full of ecstasy, MDMA, and amphetamines, my antipsychotic medicine. I'm on so many drugs. I'm thinking, if I wake up in the morning, it's gonna be a small miracle. But if I do, the way I'm feeling right now is so ultra shitty that even with all these drugs in me, I feel uber shit. This has got to stop. If I wake up tomorrow, it's over. And this is how I quit drugs. From that day on, never smoked weed even once again. Never took a drug that wasn't from a doctor. And this is where I find my wife, full wife. And basically, I become clean. My mental problems start clearing up a bit because I'm not on a huge amount of drugs anymore. So the medicine can start actually working on my psychosis. And I find my wife. She drives me home. We become boyfriend and girlfriend. She has a boy who's 2.5 years old. And I become the best stepdad I could ever try and be. And I basically turn a new page on life and say, fuck all the old stuff. I'm gonna be the best fucking dad in the whole world. And that's what I tried to be. And I enjoyed every second of it. And it was amazing. But some stuff were not good. Because my schizophrenia was still laying there dormant. And while while I sort of got better, the problem was the problem was now the real problem was I was taking my medicine. Everything was going fine after plan. But I get a psychiatrist who says, Mark, You don't actually have schizophrenia. You have ADHD. Don't you think that explains a lot about your earlier drug use and your inability to follow through school? Don't you think it explains a lot? And I was like, yeah, it actually explains a lot. I could have fucking ADHD. But what about my psychosis? Well, it's just residual problems from the drug use you did. It's from all the psychedelic drugs you did. You just have after effects of your drug use. So you're not actually schizophrenic. You just have like after images. You have like groovy shit. And I was like, that could be true. So I got put on ADHD medication and my schizophrenia medication was removed. And this went really well for 1.5 years. But slowly I was building momentum and I was getting a little bit more and more crazy and no one noticed. And my mania levels were creeping up. Because remember, not only do I have schizophrenia, I am bipolar. So the ADHD medication made me fucking manic. So basically, something really bad stuff happens in our life. My wife becomes terminally ill. She gets a hole in her stomach. She almost dies. I get put in the hospital in a bed next to her to keep her company while she's admitted because she's basically dying. And I'm there to keep her company. And while all this shit is happening, my psychosis and mania levels are doing this. And I go so super batshit crazy that all it, all it took to set off was a scam phone call that I received. And I handed away all our fucking money. I then realized I had given away all our fucking money. I tried to fix it by, I think I invested our money into cryptocurrency, but I was waiting for the market to fall. I was shorting the whole thing. And I loaned a fuckload of money from private people and from other people because I was so sure the market was gonna fall. And it did, but not at the right time. So I fucking lost everything. That was so incredibly stupid. You can't even believe it. I basically pissed away all our money. I gave away our money to scammers, pissed away the money that was sort of left, and I am psychotic as fuck. And I sort of wake up from my psychosis and I go, Mark, you just fucking ruined your whole life. You had a good run, but you ruined your fucking life. Now it's time we kill ourselves. So I tried to poison myself with paracetamol and nicotine fluid. And I drank a lot of this shit. And I did collapse on the floor, and an ambulance was called. But unfortunately, I did not take enough. So I did not die. It fucked up my liver, but I didn't die. And at this point, I'm so psychotic that I don't know when I'm looking at someone and they're speaking to me, I don't know if it's the voices in my head that's speaking or if it's the person speaking because I can't differentiate anymore because my voices are now at this point so bad. I don't know what the fuck is going on around me. I just basically want to die. So I go to the nut house. By some miracle, my wife does not leave me. She stays by my side. I go to the nut house and they sort me out. And I am there for quite a bit of time. I'm actually there for quite a while. I'm there for 7 months while they try to fix my ass. And I'm just a psychotic, stupid asshole. And they giving me all kind of fucking medicine. And ever since, this has been 5 years now, or 6 years since that episode, I've been trying to regain my sanity and become not psychotic again. And it has been a long fucking battle. Because none of the fucking medicine has worked for me. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm at the moment they're giving me electroshock. They were giving me electroshock for my schizophrenia because no fucking medicine worked anymore. But now I think I might have turned a corner, and this might actually be where my redemption arc begins. Because so far, my life has been complete bullshit. I found a beautiful wife. My life is great in that way. But I've been so fucking unfortunate. But now I'm at the nut house again. Because I have gone manic. I have all these fucking crazy ideas. I wake up at shit o'clock in the morning. I wake up every day at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm done sleeping. And I'm ready for the day. And I have all these fucking ideas about what to do. And I have there's no possible way for me to put my energy in a useful place other than these YouTube videos. Because I don't have a fucking job. I don't have a side hustle or something I can do. I can paint. So now my mission in life is to keep fucking painting, do these YouTube videos, and try and sort my life out. So welcome on this journey. This was my life story. It was a bit grim. They gave me electroshock. Unfortunately, I had an allergic reaction to the anesthesia, so I almost fucking died. I had petechia in my face. This is when you choke fucking dots in your whole face, because I almost fucking died. So now I don't want electroshock anymore. But now they're giving me lithium to try and regulate my mood. So let's see where we go. This is gonna be exciting. This was probably a rough video to watch. I appreciate you following through, watching this whole thing. Let's hope this is the beginning of the redemption arc for me. This is all gonna be. Look, I got 10 subscribers. You could be the 11th. But let's hope my life starts picking up. I'm gonna do everything that I can possibly do to fix my life. Taking all the medicine. I'm not drinking alcohol, not doing drugs. Fucking doing everything by the book. So follow me on this journey. Let's see where we end up. This was my life story. I hope you learned something from it. Sometimes I think you can learn stuff from other people. Maybe there was something in this story you can learn something about. Maybe there's actually something useful in my story. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what you could learn from all this possible. But serious, great. Thank you for watching. You fat bitch. I love you.